Hello everyone and welcome to the back nine of the 2022 Memorial Championship first round FPO action. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, alongside Hannah McBeth. Hannah, everyone was complaining in the comments. They're saying, yeah, it's great that you're here, but why aren't you on the course?
What's up, party people? Yeah, I haven't been practicing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to start practicing now. My first tournaments are in Florida.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to do work because we see the likes of...
Will you film there? Are you filming there?
Yeah, sure. I go out and film everywhere, and we're glad to be here at the Memorial yet again.
Yeah.
Eveliina, a moment ago, on hole 10. Here's our defending champion, Scoggins.
Yeah, they are. This is nothing short of exciting. I mean, the big putts that we just saw on hole 9 in the last video to end it. I'm like, hurry up. Let's get this commentary going. I want to see what these women are going to do on the back 9. Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And in all fairness, you nor I edited or saw any of this.
No.
We weren't out here. This is all seeing the action for the first time. And what a great shot a moment ago.
Guys, this hole is so long and uphill, and there's really, as you can see, not a lot of ground play. So it's about getting it up to the basket. And you've got to have the distance and power. Really, really well done. Eveliina with a solid bid there. Just comes up short.
Scoggins from about 45, 50 feet, also a little bit short. This one feels a little bit like a bonus most years. You know, it's 310, probably plays closer to 340 or 350 as Kristin picks up the birdie, but just having that long left to right bend is what makes it so difficult with most of our righty dominant players.
Exactly. It's like you've done this before.
I think about things once in a while. Now we're going to see Hannah. We saw her actually just buzz right past the basket.
Oh, buzz. Sponsored by Discraft. Nice. The coverage, that is.
I was going to say, never mind. All right, here's Hannah for birdie.
Yeah, well done.
Man, I got to say 2 birdies on this card. I'm going to cheat and look at some of the PDGA stats. Wow, there were only 4 on the day. So big shout out Emily Beach along with Sammy Keddington also picking it up. But a little bit of a bonus for sure. And we're at an interesting point in the course if you're not familiar with it. Of course, water comes into play for about 6 out of the front 9 holes. Water doesn't really come into play except for like just 1 or 2 holes here on the back.
Right.
Unless you throw a terrible shot.
Yeah, it's more so, I keep saying it, but it's so important at Memorial. Just the ground play for the discs is so different than what we're going to see in other grassy tournaments this year. One of the mistakes that you can make is just throwing a wide rim disc a little bit too far to the left or off your line, and it just carries. Sorry, I was watching her shot. It just carries down towards the water. I was just pausing for drama.
Just such a great shot.
This is gorgeous. Look at that full flight. Yeah,
a little bit short. Those are dangerous ones because of those 2 trees and the angle in which she's putting downhill. Let's see how bold she wants to be, and in all fairness, I'm gonna big shout out to both my cameramen, of course, but they learned today that sometimes Eveliina just gets up and throws. She can be a very quick player. She's ready to go. Owen isn't exactly slow either. He loves to get at it.
The right idea from Eveliina, but just not enough power.
And if you're going to not be parked, this is pretty much the best spot to be in on this hole.
Good run from Henna.
See if one of those trees actually becomes more of an obstacle now. Just angle so crucial on this hole. There's only 2 trees on the entire hole, but they're really precariously placed.
Yep.
Or you just do that.
That's that championship putt that Kristin Tattar has. Having that skill in your, what do they call it, arsenal, is not a joke. She's used and relied on that skill so much, and it's carried her to tons of wins, especially last year. I think back to D-Glow. I think there was that putt on hole 17 from way downhill. So she's putting way uphill from circle 2, and it's just dead center.
And we'll walk away with the par. Relatively calm conditions out here. This is a Thursday morning, March 3rd.
Yeah, this tournament's interesting. It's not a tournament if you're easily distracted. Maybe I'd say skip it. There's, as you can see at the top, a line of traffic that's always buzzing through, and there's tons of other cards playing at the same time. Sometimes they're throwing at the same time as you're trying to putt. So you've definitely got to be focused.
See the wind now as throwing downhill 293 feet. Probably plays closer to about 260 because of the downhill nature to it. So you see her throwing, I believe that's maybe even a harp. That backhand, relatively slow disc. You see people go low like this route, or sometimes you see a big wide spiking hyzer.
Ooh.
It needs to sit down and it checks up.
I thought that was going in. No. Very direct with that.
The mid, but she gets the second
Wow,
skip.
really well done.
That looked like it turned a little too much. Will it have any edge at the end? No, not enough.
I've seen Scoggins make them from that. A little bit downhill, that'll help her carry to the basket easier. Ooh, great bid.
Usually the community at large is out there, as you see, walking a dog. Oh, no, it just slides back out, but they'll be out there walking dogs and just taking in the day as they, go around this beautiful Fountain Hills Park. All these unintended spectators and patrons, but we'll take them. They seem to enjoy it year after year. And believe it or not, after a few years, you start to recognize people, and they recognize you after coming here for so many years in a row.
Great putt.
Easy tap in. I think we're going to have a word from our sponsor just after everyone taps in. But I got to say again, thank you, Hannah, for joining, of course. Giving up some of your free time here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the other sponsors. I had a number of companies and people reach out saying that they wanted to support the exclusive coverage that Disc Golf Guy channel is putting out this week. So thank you to all of them. We'll be back in a moment. DG Guy. That's all you need to type into the code when you're at resistancedisc.com. You get free shipping on anything over $30 as we're watching Kristin Tattar park job.
She is showing so much control over her discs. She's definitely in championship form.
And there used to be a branch that the players had to throw underneath, making
right.
this hole so much tougher.
Yeah.
And now that branch has been cut away, and this really makes it a stock hyzer for a righty backhand thrower. Again, I'm going to chalk it up. This is a must-get birdie. Sometimes they've made it more difficult by having the basket elevated. This year it's not, and everyone's just saying, hey, I'm going to park it right next to the pin.
Yeah. They're just doing some field work out there.
the look of this. A little bit of skip. Oh, and she's way out. I mean.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to guess this has to be one of the easier holes on the course. Count it. And sure enough, Hannah, this is the only hole on the entire course that wasn't bogeyed today.
Wow, I believe it.
And also played as the easiest hole on the course.
Really?
Yep, just 2.57 was the average, and the single easiest hole on the course. Big shout out to our friends over at the PDGA, Pete, Chris, and others. A little bit of assist on some statistics and background information.
Just a couple of birdies for these ladies.
We're going bag on and everything.
Wow.
Too easy.
That's what I'm saying. Championship mentality right here from Tattar.
Head over to hole 14. This always feels like a really tough one to get as opposed to what we just saw, doesn't it?
Yeah, so hole 14 tracks downhill the entire way, but the water and I would say it's not a cart path, but the sidewalk comes into play a lot more often than competitors would like. See Eveliina's disc shaping towards the basket. Really well done. I wish we could get the other angle. You can kind of see it from here and the left-hand side. But yeah, once the disc is okay, once the disc is in the air, it's tracking towards the OB the whole way. So control is super important here, and it's not an easy shot.
And that's everything you were just talking about right there. As gravity is pulling that to the left side, it's easy to have it skip right onto the sidewalk, or even maybe even across the sidewalk and into the water. So
even this shot is so difficult to dial in because you can't. It's really hard to control when the disc starts to fade out. And head towards the, head right. So Owen went with that backhand. So she put it on line with the OB, hoping that it would fade out. But it just came out a little bit too early.
Usually those limbs are a problem. And surprisingly, they weren't here for Owen. A little bit high left side so it doesn't stick. Solid run, though.
Yeah.
And right at circle's edge for Henna.
Oh.
And if you're going to be anywhere on this basket, again, assuming you're not parked, you want to be left. Down and left is the ideal place to be, I feel like.
Nice birdie for Eveliina. Gonna take her to 7 down through 14.
Funny how much these couple of trees can come into play, and then you see that electrical box that has kind of famously been there and provided plenty of struggles for players throughout the years.
Oh yeah, if you had to sign your name every time you straddle putt around that electrical box, it would be fully black.
Tap-ins and walking away from hole 14. Tough to get the birdie there. I think there was only a couple on the day.
And Eveliina's gonna take the lead there. She has so much power behind her drives. Great reach back. That's excellent.
At 426, this really takes some elite level power to get all the way there, or at least get you inside the circle, right?
Yes. Were there any birdies on it today?
Oh, well, we're not going to spoil it just yet.
I forgot it already happened. I don't know what I just
No,
had an
this
out-of-body experience.
It is absolutely one of the toughest holes to get all the way to. I feel like, yeah, you need a full flex usually. Sometimes on the MPO side, you'll see basically a straight hyzer to it, but you're going to need a full flex. And then even if you do get a good flight out of it, like we're seeing here from Henna, it's still about the positioning because of those trees.
Yep.
Even if you're left with a 30 or 40 footer, you might be completely blocked by one of those few trees.
Yeah, and Owen is hanging in there. She's not known for having strong distance. I love watching her throw more backhands during this tournament because in the tournaments that I've watched past, she really relies heavy on that forehand. So it's nice to see her tune in that skill. But she's still at 4 down, hanging only 3 strokes behind the leader.
Accuracy on point. And Eveliina in good position, but just for the par. And here's what I was talking about. Even with this distance, it can be really tough. And then you have to think about if you hit near the basket and you roll past those 3 trees, they give you a ton of challenge coming back from them. And next thing you know, you turn a long birdie look into a difficult bogey. And here we see Kristin stretching out.
Yeah, and the thing with these baskets is the chains don't always want to let your disc in. They're pretty heavy, I would say. So if you're doing a straddle out like that and you hit too soft, your disc is not necessarily going to stick and go in the basket. So lots to take into consideration. And this is Kristin Tattar's first time. I was going to say these women have all been here before, but actually this is Kristin's first time ever to Arizona.
Addicts? This is Johnny here. I'm the owner of Plastic Addicts Disc Golf Supplies, largest vendor in the state of Illinois, over 10,000 items in stock, available both in the store and on our website. We're offering a code for a discount for everyone watching the Memorial coverage. It's Memorial 10. Get you 10% off anything on the website, and we always offer free shipping on any orders of $70 or more. So check us out at plasticaddicts.net.
Why am I so good at this? I'm so good at interrupting.
Well, to be fair, you didn't know a commercial was coming up. But big shout out to Johnny Harrison and Plastic Addicts for supporting us here for this week's coverage as we're watching Eveliina on hole 16.
Drive. And this does have 2 Mandos, as you can see the tape on that one palm tree. And then a second palm tree right here coming into frame. Plays as a Mando as well. Wow. You know, it's really incredible that Kristin has been in the States and able to throw distance drivers and do actual field work. And she's been in the States for, I think, 2 weeks now. And she's already so dialed in.
Yeah,
that bag comfortability is not a joke.
Yeah, and making it look easy out here for sure. And to follow that up, I was talking to her and Silver the day before, and they were talking about getting their hands have been really dry, dealing with some of the conditions out here, and how much lotion that they've had to use just to keep their hands ready to go, and certainly not used to this. So you don't think much about that until all of a sudden you have 4 or 5 cracked fingers and you're in pain when you're throwing sometimes. So certainly a lot of adjustments, as you say.
Oh, Henna just needs to dial in that putt. Everything else is there, but that putting stride is just not.
Do you think that's a comfort, or do you think that's mental, or anything that you could maybe draw from that?
I don't know. I'd have to ask her. Obviously, if I asked her, then I would have the answer. But I think that's just the best bet because it could be any one of those things. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just mental. Obviously, we've seen what she's done in the past here in the States and what she's been doing in Europe as far as competitions go, but
her bag was razzing her there
as
it tips over, and she's in. That's a missed opportunity. This 100-meter, I'm getting in all my conversions out there. It's the only one I know, 100 meters.
Well, I'm sure we have a strong European audience for this footage, so.
We certainly hope so. Is excited. Normally you wait till the next day to release a lot of coverage, but as we were trying to hustle to get this FPO coverage, we were super excited to get it out because we knew everybody over in Estonia and Finland would be waking up to this fresh coverage. So welcome. Thanks for watching as we're here on hole 17. There's 2 left to go in the first round. 468 feet. Probably plays maybe 430 instead.
Yep. I was talking to Katie from Estonia, and she was asking me if I know any Estonian. And I was embarrassed because the only Estonian that I know is Palun Ragi Aiglasemalt, which means please speak more slowly. But even if they speak slowly. That's the only thing I know how to say. So why?
Just keep repeating that.
Why is that? So, I was learning Finnish on Duolingo for a while too, but
Gotta keep up with the world champ.
I know,
Trina
geez.
Allen busting out multiple languages as she was doing at the Las Vegas Challenge.
Yeah, but she's a nerd.
Owen
I'm just kidding.
Scoggins.
It takes one to know one.
I'm gonna just sit over here. Owen Scoggins very quickly stepping up. Here's her approach.
Dialed in on those approaches.
You know, this is a really tough get at the distance it is, 468, as we said. See if we had how many birdies we had out here today, and unfortunately, it looks like the rest of our division really struggled.
Kristin Tattar gets closest to the basket, and she's still got these trees to contend with.
Playing the bank?
Oh, yeah, I think she might have been.
Split the uprights, but walking away with a par won't be too bad. Again, this hole actually averaged at 3.52, so played more than a half a stroke above par. Kind of looks like she'll drop back to 3 under, and we see Owen at 4. Just for everyone out there as well, to give the traffic, so to speak, we're going to be playing out here at Fountain Hills for round number 2. They'll be back out here on Friday, also in the morning. And then rounds 3 and 4 will be played at the Vista del Camino Shelley Sharp course. So 2 rounds here, and then 2 rounds over at Vista. There's only 1 Euro pizza, though, and that's right off of the green of 18. I'm not saying you got to go, but you got to go. They don't even pay me to say that. I think I pay them.
You're not
I'm doing
wrong.
it backwards.
Euro pizza is pretty fire. I'm loving the forehand approach here from Kristin.
You feel like that's just, it gets a little ground play, but do you feel like that's just saying, hey, I'm going to concede and I'm okay with playing for the 3? Or do you...
Yeah, I'm not sure that any of them can really reach the green. 400 feet with that much water? The risk doesn't seem to be worth the reward to me here on 18, especially if you're having a good round. You don't want to throw it away.
Multiple wind bounces there. Oh, I like the drive.
That's a
inside the
great
circle.
drive.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where Henna is so good with her distance. She throws so far. So, definitely within her comfort zone.
Oh, come on. Just sit down. Of course, there's the OB water. She's safe, but that doesn't seem fair.
Ooh. Oh, I thought that had hooked up. Or I thought it wasn't going to hook up, rather.
Kristin with a great round here. She's sitting at 7 under. Eveliina trying to just walk out of here with a par as well, it appears. Now Henna trying to make up for the bogey she picked up on 17 from 27 feet.
Oh. Frustrating for Henna. She's such a good young player, so much talent. It goes to show how important it is to have all of your skills working for you on the course.
That's going to lead to a bogey for Owen, and we're going to start to wrap things up. Hannah, thank you for joining. I hope we get to hear from you all week.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I haven't done commentary in a long time, so hopefully we'll just keep getting better and better as the videos go through.
Well, I'm not making any promises as to my quality, but it's been a while. Either way, again, like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Leave it in the comments what you thought of seeing this international card during the first round. I've got things to give away like jerky and dis and other things. Thank you again, all the sponsors, supporters, everyone you saw through the transition screens, our cameramen out there running around getting it done. Thank you, and Guys, join us tomorrow. We'll see you for round number 2. Our feature, or lead card, I should say, will include Eveliina Salonen, Kristin Tattar, Maria Oliva,
and Jennifer Allen.
Looking forward to it. That's a great card. We'll see you tomorrow.